I've basically every single time he's used it, it's kind of backfired. He hasn't got the effect off. He's just taken the damage. So talking about no life, that's something that he needs to get a little bit better at if he is to actually deal some damage in exchange for that life. As we see the opener onto Zetox, though, looks pretty promising for the Druid.
He does a ton of damage off the bat onto Zetox. The Noma's Shrink Ray lands, however, onto Zetox, who's going to be doing very, very little damage right now. Gordon Ramsay in dire bear form with that extra armor as well. He used his Feral Charge. No, there it is right there. He's got Zetox in range and stun. Gordon Ramsay doing big damage now, using that manual crowd pummeler onto Zetox, who's forced to run away. He's slowed down by that piercing arrow. Doesn't shift out of it, does Gordon Ramsay. Now Zetox able to first aid back up. No dots taking him down. Gordon Ramsay forced to lumber and auto attack him down as Zetox, the effects of that Shrinkoi wear off, but there's the net from Gordon Ramsay. Is he going to look to recover here? He's just walking away, not shifting out of form just yet. There it is. There's the regrowth. He's going to go for the healing touch. No, he goes for the grenade instead, but it resists. That extra orc resistance chance from Zetox, who pops his recklessness. Gordon Ramsay out of form into the wreck, pops at us. It's not going to matter. There's the War Stomp, though, so Gordon able to get some distance. He's going to pop travel form. No, he gets caught into the grenade, and he gets caught in the execute. This is the counter weapon to Druids as a warrior, as Gordon Ramsay opens up with that Entangling Roots. Immediate Ornate Mithril Boots from Zetox. He intercepts right onto Gordon Ramsay, goes for the big damage. No, he doesn't use the Mortal Strike just yet. So no Mortal Strike debuff onto Gordon Ramsay from Zetox, who unleashes the Zoo and the Timbermaw Hold Defender, who's going ham on Gordon Ramsay. It's not healing Zetox, going for the offensive plays instead. Zetox does not need any healing. This Druid cannot out-damage this Bone Reaver's Edge as Zetox opens up, gets the intimidating shot with Gordon out of form. The grenade resists, so it allows Gordon to get back into form as quickly as possible. There's the hamstring, though, but into the Feral Charge, the Mortal Strike. But travel form does Gordon Ramsay. Tries to get his distance to recover, but the shot from the blaster shot launcher at the very end takes down the Druid.
Expecting warriors to be kind of struggling like the Shamans and the Druids are, but they seem to be middle of the pack, you know, picking up 9 or 10 wins in some cases out of 14, which is really, really good on that class. Shows the caliber we have. But now we've got one of the duels I've been looking forward to the entire day, Tips. It's Payo, who is the only person that has taken a duel off of Snutz, the SL Warlock, now going up against Nazgul, who is thus far undefeated on SL Warlock. So this is Payo's opportunity to hand Nazgul his first defeat in the CDL regular season.
Payo, the Slayer of the Immortals here at the CDL, the Demon Slayer, I should say, as he's about to go head-to-head with the SL Warlock. Took down Snutz, as you said, healing stat, giving him his only loss in the CDL thus far. Will he do the same to Nazgul, who is sitting at a very happy 20-0, undefeated in the regular season, as Payo employs the same strategy as he did Snutz, goes immediately for the Voidwalker. Will he be able to kill it in time with the burst damage, or does it get sacked? He's got to be careful. Does he gouge it up on the Eviscerate? And he kills it. Nazgul is exposed. He has to go for the Feldon, but Payo vanishes up. Is he going to get caught out by the Strain of Fire? No, he does not. So now Nazgul is in huge trouble. Payo expending the sprint at the very start as Nazgul positions Warlock away from him. So that's a cooldown used by Payo, but he still has prep. He still has both of his blinds as well. Nazgul, Feldom expended. That's a 15-minute cooldown, I believe. He's not going to have it for the second duel. And he no longer has a double sack for this first duel. So one sack left as Payo looks to open up, gets the sap off. He goes onto the Voidwalker once again. Does he kill it a second time? Does he do the unthinkable? The Demon Slayer Payo, does he pull it off? The Eviscerate damage? No! Last second, Nazgul gets it literally at a fraction of a second as he pops the Netomatic Projector as well as the Barovs. But Payo makes quick work of those peasants. The net fades off as well. Now Nazgul is completely exposed. He's got the shield, but how much damage can it take for him as Payo pops the reflector, but the nade comes out from Nazgul. He's going to look for a death coil very soon. Does Payo pop the prep death coil? No, he does not finish the death coil. He takes the death coil to the face. Corruption ticking, Curse of Agony ticking. No sprint just yet for the little, of course. Shadow burn as well. He's chasing down Nazgul, who's now completely but he has dots ticking. Does he get the gouge off? Does he get something off? No. With no sprint, which was expended at the start of the fight.
The strength of the dots from this SL Warlock, but let's see how the second duel does pay out. Most likely Payo going to go for the kill on the pet once again.
Here we go. Nazgul is sapped back up. We're going to position ourselves a little bit closer to the Voidwalker here, as you called it, right on the nose, healing stat. Payo on that Voidwalker. Is he going to be able to kill it this time? He does not.
The sack comes through.
The sack gets badged. Despite the eviscerate, just obliterating that Voidwalker at 35% HP, the badge comes in. Nazgul gets the sack off. And here we go. Payo looking to open up on this Warlock. He does have an Absorb Shield. Payo does not have a Shadow Reflector Trinket, so he has to be careful of that Death Coil. As he closes in here onto Nazgul, who's looking to mana back up if he can. There's the sap, though, coming out from Payo. No Voidwalker, no Feldom, and it looks like the Absorb Shield is gone. Payo now looking to explode onto Nazgul and potentially give him his first loss of the CDL regular season. No one has done this before yet, except for Payo, who's looking to open. He gets the second sap off. It's on DR. Is he going to go for the re-stealth? Presumably he will. Nazgul now. Austrian gets the Rain of Fire off, trying to get Payo out of stealth if he can. He's at the very edge of the duel line. He's got to be careful not to flee. He's going for the summon on the Voidwalker, but there's the cheap shot coming out from Payo, and you can see the huge damage now. No Soul Link up because the Voidwalker is donezo, and it looks like so is Nazgul as the blind comes off. He's at 45% HP. The difference without Soul Link versus with Soul Link is tremendous, and now Nazgul is going to be set up here to take a lot of damage. Exposed armor comes out. The cloth becomes even squishier as we have what appears to be a slight bit of interference, but it looks like the duel... I'm not sure if the duel is going to continue here. Yeah, but it looks like we have...
I think he put a dot on Nazgul to break him out of the CC. Yeah, that's really unfortunate because I think Payo was doing super well in this duel. This was literally perfect for him. You know, he got the full blind on him at about 30% health. He wasn't able to quite finish it off, I don't think, but we'll have to see what the admins do say, as unfortunately that guy does come in there and interrupt the duel. I really feel, though, that in that scenario, you know, Nazgul has 40% health left, blind sap reset, no pet, no soul link. That was definitely looking in favor of Payo, but we'll have to see what the admins do say about it. Sigs coming in. Very nice. Good stuff.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, Ark?
Hey, we're going to do a reduel at a later time where he snapshotted all the cooldowns and everything that was there, and we're going to redo it with the same cooldowns and trinket.
Okay. All right. That's the call. We'll respect it, and we'll keep moving on. Yeah, let's who's our next competitors then? Koth and Luck, again, trying to climb his way out of a giant hole that he's currently in as we get this duel started. Fizz opens up immediately with the Flame Shock into the grenade. Just go for the Chain Lightning. The spell pushback, though, from the pet, but it's not going to be enough. He gets the Chain Lightning off, but the Goblin Mortar, though, comes out from Koth and Luck, and he actually does a pretty significant amount of damage as Fizz is forced to pop Nature Swiftness. The Earthbind Totem is down, so Kothan's got to be careful. The Chain Lightning doesn't go off. No, the Scatter at the last moment into the grenade. Koth and Luck dropping the trap as well, but it's resisted by the Orc Racial. And here comes the Chain Lightning coming out from Fizz. The pushback, it's not enough to prevent the damage. The Fire Nova Totem at the very end of the precipice. So Fizz still needs to finish off Koth and Luck here, who is... And Fizz is almost completely out of mana, but can he get out of the melee range of Fizz, who's just whittling him down? He's at 1% HP, no Whipperoot Tuber expended. And Fizz takes Koth and Luck down there. 2 big Chain Lightnings, as well as just that big clutch resist on that freezing trap.
Yeah, that was actually insanely well played by Fizz as well. He preemptively put the pets down before the scatter trap came out, meaning that it was difficult for Koth and Luck to get the clean reset to drop combat because, you know, he still has to deal with those 3 pets. And I think actually there was a little gap, so he put down the Frost Reflector trinket potentially, Fizz as well. Maybe the trap still resisted because it didn't actually get reflected onto the Hunter. I'm not exactly sure.
It looks like you're right. He did get the resist off. Yeah, the reflect off.
But that's just insane from Fizz. Like, I mean, again, just major outplays is exactly what you need if you're going to win these matchups as Shaman. So beautifully done, able to get the win again here against the Hunter, and that's him 9 wins, 5 on the day, and he still has his matchup against Druid to go. So we're expecting him to be picking up, you know, maybe 7, 8, 9 wins today, which would be incredible considering the performances Shaman's had earlier in the bracket.
See if Fizz is able to pull it off here a second time. Again, been having a phenomenal dueling day thus far. I believe that's either his 4th or 5th win on the day just today, which exceeds his previous wins from the entirety of last week as the concussive shot comes out from Cawthon Luck, the stun as well. Fizz, though, looking to close the distance, pops the Frost Shock, gets the slow, gets the Earthbind, pops the AGM, and now is in melee range of Cawthon once again, who cannot get any ranged attacks off. He's getting dead zoned, and just the chain lightning damage coming out from physical. Cawthon forced to pop a Whipperoo Tuber, get some distance. He comes back into melee range, though, for the scatter. I'm not sure if that was the play, because the trap does not land. And now Cawthon almost suiciding back into physical there. He was trying to get the scatter trap, but it was unsuccessful. Warrior versus Druid, a matchup that I personally love so much. Such a fun matchup as Matt opens up with the bounce into the entangling roots. Not something you see too often as Biotech Spider Belts immediately pops the Rage Potion as well and just goes ham onto Matt. Gets the Mortal Strike off. Big debuff now onto Matt. But here's the difference between Biotox and Z-Tox. Biotox is the Spinal Reaper. Z-Tox is the Bone Reaver's Edge. And that Bone Reaver's Edge minus 2100 mitigation is so big against Druids. But here comes Biotox now charging in with those Goblin Rocket Boots. Does he get into melee range in time? He's burning so much HP. He does. Gets the Intimidating Shout off, but he just breaks it with the Mortal Strike right away. Gets bashed up. Moonfire comes out onto Biotox. He intercepts back and he gets Matt out of form, but he doesn't have the rage to back up this damage. Meanwhile, Matt popping the Whipperoo Tuber. Is this Matt's first victory of the day? It looks like it just might be. Auto-attacking Biotox down with the Insect Swarm, and Matt gets his first victory of the day and climbs up to 3 wins in the CDL regular season.
Quite have the damage to break through that armor from the tankiness of Bear Form on the Druid, and with Matt already taking 1 win, we're going to get into the second duel here, see if Biotox can fight his way back, because he's really starting to fall behind the likes of these other warriors now.
Here we go. Biotox this time, though, able to dish out the damage with that recklessness. Horned Viking Helm is expended with Matt out of form into an auto-attack crit, but no Mortal Strike to follow up. Matt, though, caught out of form in travel form. Biotox, can he catch up? No Rocket Boots to use in this duel. Pops the grenade, gets resisted, but it doesn't matter.
Snutz, most likely, Bobka's going to end up sitting a full fear and really struggle in this game. For Snutz, it's just a case of, playing with the pet. You can see he's got it max range to try deny that opener that the rogue goes for, to deny the sacrifice, rather.
Here we go. Bobka with the opener sap onto Snutz. And it looks like the sap heartbeats early as Bobka opens up onto the Voidwalker in the background. It looks like he's not gonna commit. He's not gonna go for the Voidwalker. Instead, popping the Shadow Reflector Tree, coming back onto Snutz. A little bit of a misplay there by Bobka, but the bad RNG on the heartbeat. Now Bobka's completely exposed. He's not gonna expend any cooldown. He's just gonna take the L here and go for the reset. The Heartbreak Sap. Unfortunate for Bobka.
Kill. Maybe he could have vanished as soon as that sap breaks, but it just feels so bad to expend that cooldown immediately. He's going to take it, go for the second one here as he goes for the blind into the vanish reset. There is a dot from Snutz though, so that isn't going to be a clean vanish, meaning Bobka may well have to use his second vanish, his preparation, to try get damage going here as Snutz taking a lot of damage. Kidney resists though, he's able to get out of that one. The Howl of Terror potentially coming in off that death coil. Second blind comes through though. Snutz is low on health. Bobka has a good chance in this one, Tips.
I don't believe a Feldom has been expended yet, though, by Snutz, although I could be wrong. The Gouge, though, comes out from Bobka, goes in with the grenade into the Eviscerate. There's the Feldom into the immediate sack. But Bobka's doing a pretty serious amount of damage here as he pops the Whipperoo Tuber. Gnomish Cloaking Device used by Snutz into the Fear. No Will of the Forsaken for this Orc Rogue. As Snutz now closes it on Bobka, he got so close, but the Curse of Agony and the Corruption, he goes for the first aid, gets 1 tick off, but it's not going to be enough. Bobka goes down so close for the Orc Rogue. We'll see Ziqo going for the Shadow Reflector and the Talisman of Ephemeral Power, as well as the Furbolg Medicine Pouch. So a balance between offensive and defensive trinkets for Ziqo as he gets the Sheep off right away. Shadow Word Pain ticking onto Ziqo, who goes for a big Frostbolt. As he breaks down the Power Word Shield immediately, the Weakened Soul debuff fades off. However, Toes gets caught in the grenade of the huge Frostbolt crit coming out from Ziqo, whose silence blocks it off immediately. There's the Goblin Rocket Boots, but Ziqo stays in range to get the snare on. Toes trying to run away. The fire blast to come off as well. Ziqo going for the arcade missiles. That's a first. Into the frostbolt. No, the blackout proc stun saves Toes in the nick of time. As he's able to get one flash shield, no, two flash shields before the improved counterspell comes on. Coda Cold from Ziqo. He pops the Shadow Reflector as well. Goes for the frostbolt one more time. No, polymorph reset instead. Ziqo going to play this a little bit conservatively. He burned a lot of his burst there at the start, and now he's looking to recover healing stat.
Yeah, he is looking to recover here. Mana low sides. Sit for a long time. Very unfortunate there. The blackout on the blink. If that blackout hadn't connected, Toes was about 20% health. I think probably Ziqo would have gone for the kill. He could have used the second ice block on it, but looks like he's trying to be a bit conservative. Maybe go for the 2 duel strategy here on that mage. Toes still low on mana. The frostbite procs are good for Ziqo as he blinks through the mind blast there. He's able to avoid it, but the nade resists. Toes is going to be able to get some damage out, but mana is such a big problem. The Shadow Priest, it looks like Ziqo might have this one. The heal's going to come through. Toes very low on health. He just doesn't have the mana. The fear is either whiffed or it resists from Toes once again as well. Without that fear, Ziqo is able to get another reset with this polymorph, and Toes has no mana to finish off Ziqo. This could be a win here for Ziqo, and with second ice block available, he could even go for the 2-0.
Ziqo dampening down Toes here, getting rid of all of his mana, first aiding back up. Polymorph is on DR right now, but he's going to go for the Ice Spear and the Mana Shield into a big Frostbolt and trying to finish off Toes here. Another Frostbolt before the silence. Ice blocks it off, does Ziqo. Will the Forsaken out of the fear. Now Toes completely owned. Coma Cold onto Toes, into the Fire Blast. Improved counterspell to boot. Ziqo is just charging this duel up, but the grenade comes out from Toes at the very end. He first aids back up, gets a couple of ticks off, enough to stall the duel just a little bit longer. Meanwhile, Ziqo expending a lot of his mana, trying to finish Toes off there, but was unable to do so. Pops the mana gem, gets the grenade off, gets the frostbolt off, into the frostbite. It's a big crit as well. So now Ziqo is able to take down Toes. 1-0 for the Black Lizard.
Yeah, really nice from Ziqo. Honestly, that duel didn't go exactly. I think it's actually fair to say, like, a lot of people, but I think in Classic especially, because there's such a big RNG element, if things aren't going your way, it does have an impact on your performance. Like, look at Ziqo, right? Like, Ziqo is one of the best players that's ever played this game. He's rank 1 every single expansion pretty much, had a long rank 1 streak, as you were talking about earlier, but he had a bad performance one day just because things weren't going his way, and that definitely is going to have impacts on your play. So is actually going well for him, despite me saying that he would struggle without cooldowns. He's very close to finding a kill here on Toes. Toes having to heal, and now he goes for the sheep reset. Still looking fine though for Toes. He has a good amount of mana in this one, and this is the sign of a very experienced competitor, right? Like, you have to be able to play it out, even if the duel isn't going very well for you. In this situation, Ziqo doesn't have any ice blocks, but they might be coming back up again because he used that first ice block quite a while ago.
See Ziqo again eating on those server ticks, recovering as quickly as he can. The Shadow Word Pain falls off, so he's able to get a bandage as well. He's almost back to full HP and full mana. Meanwhile, Toes taking the punishment there on the mana side as he gets the improved counterspell off the Ziqo. Now Toes polymorph back up. Zico's going to go for the recovery one more time. It looks like he is. He wants to go for the full reset here. Going to be looking to see if he swaps out his trinkets. Not just yet. He still has his AGM. He still has his toe up equipped and unused as he looks to open up once again onto Toes. Another polymorph reset from Ziqo. No Dark Unit used by Toes to break out of it. No Skull of Impending Doom. Nothing. And he's forced to eat the brunt of this Frostbolt damage as it comes out from Ziqo. Weakened Soul onto Toes. He's exposed right now. Pops the toe up. Pops the Mind Blast. And a huge Mind Blast grid into the Mind Flay from Toes. But the improved counterspell coming out from Ziqo. Shadow Word Pain is taking over, and the grenade lands despite the blink. The big toe up into the big Mind Blast from Toes. Surprise, surprise. The Shadow Priest takes down the Mage. Because I think the last thing was against Serendipity, so it's been a while since we've seen it. But anyways, here we go. Cdew immediately gets netted, breaks out of the net, pops the nifty stopwatch onto Bruce Wayne, gets the Storm Strike off. The scatter though, the trap, it does go off. No resist there from Cdew. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne doing what he can to recover, has aspect of the cheetah on, is recovering, gets the first aid off. No, not enough time for the tick before Cdew breaks out of the bandage. And look at the huge multi-shot damage coming out from Bruce Wayne. That wasn't even an aim shot, but there's the Goblin Rocket Boots, but it gets caught in the grenade. And the huge aim shot crit coming out from Bruce Wayne, landing the nade despite the speed boost. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James plays there by Bruce Wayne, and he takes down Cdew.
From Nazgul in the early stages.
And we'll see if he's able to do so as he charges into a Sunder Armor onto a Cloth. The interesting choice there by Zetox, trying to do whatever he can to break through that tanky Warlock as he gets ready to pop the Recklessness. He's got the Shadow Reflector on, but he gets netted up, and no Spider Belt there for Zetox. Feldom comes out for Nazgul, and it looks like Zetox is just going to melt here. And expect the charge to come in here very soon. I wonder if Zetox just turns around and goes for the Voidwalker. I wonder if it's worth it. No, he goes for the charge on the Voidwalker instead. Again, opening up with that Sunder Armor. A little bit different from what we've seen from pretty much every other warrior in the tournament. Pops the Rage Potion, pops the Recklessness, pops the damage, but the Death Coil. No Shadow Reflector Trinket this time. He's so stacked on Rage, though. If he lands a couple of big hits, this could spell the end for Nazgul. Intimidating Shout comes out into the Intercept stun from Zetox. Looks like the stun is resisted, though. Or DR'd, I'm sorry, and as a result...
Payo, obviously, with all the controversy that surrounded his last duel, all he wants to do as a competitor now is bounce back in this one, find 2 quick wins here, and regain himself at the very, very top. He's doing it with the Death Ray. It's a big opener, though, to be honest. Gordon Ramsay with that bear form, tanking through quite a lot of this opener from Payo.
I was going to say, what a way to bounce back. Right away, we see the Gnomish Death Ray come out from Payo. I don't think we've seen it from him specifically all tournament long. He brings it out for the duel against the Druid, understanding the extra tankiness of that Dire Bear form and that annoying Fairy Fire to deal with. But Payo just does so much damage. He's got the Rupture and the Garrote ticking. All of that armor will do nothing against those bleeds. And there's the kidney shot onto Gordon Ramsay. Payo looking to end this duel right here, right now, as he pops the Whipperoo Tuber. Not enough energy for a big Abyss. And there's the bash coming out from Gordon Ramsay into the Entangling Roots, I would presume. No, he pops the Insect Swarm into the Moonfire. Pops his AGM as well. Payo, does he catch him out of form? He does not. No gouge there for Payo onto Gordon. It looks like it may have been resisted. It looks like the kidney shot's resisted there. And now Payo, he does get the gouge off. Very low HP, though, is Payo. He's not going to be able to reset either. That Fairy Fire keeping him exposed, and Payo might go down here. He gets the gouge off and a couple of bandage ticks, but is it going to be enough? He can't reset that Fairy Fire. There's the Feral Charge. There's the Kidney Shot. But again, Payo is super exposed here. That Dire Bear form is so tanky. But look at the kiting. Look at the dead zoning. Look at the little gentleman, the little, of course, toying with this Druid, who does get the charge back in. And he gets the kidney as well, does Payo, but he knows it's over. Great play by Payo, but just too tanky is that Dire Bear form, is that Feral Druid.
He's got Fairy Fire from the very start of this one, meaning that Payo most likely is never going to get to use that Vanish, and this is the greater invisibility, or the invisibility cloak coming in from Gordon Ramsay there as well, giving him a pretty good start here against Payo.
Gets the gouge out of form for Gordon Ramsay, but he's able to shift back in as quickly as possible. Gets another gouge. It's going to be DR'd, and there is the Nature's Grasp. Gordon Ramsay is spec'd into Nature's Grasp, so it's an extra probability of rooting the target. And that spec point paid off for him there, as he was able to root Payo, at least momentarily, prevent some damage. But it looks like Payo's bringing the pain in this duel, circling Gordon Ramsay like a shark. Gordon may be a bear, but he is in the water right now as he is sinking to this Rupture damage and sinking to this Viscag damage. Payo getting the gouge off and finishing things off with that kidney shot into the big Sinister Strike. Payo takes it, and it's a split between Gordon and Payo, 1-1.
Spike, but obviously with good timed ice block, Xaryu can mitigate a lot of that incoming damage from the elemental shaman, and just kind of attrition this fight out. Xaryu was actually the only mage I've seen so far that just completely shut out shaman in the first weekend. He just went for full on aggression. He didn't even try and reset. He just won the duel straight out, but he's taking a lot of damage right now. He's not going to be able to play the same against Elemental as he did Enhancement, as he tanks that Chain Lightning to the face, maybe looking for Sheeps to get a reset early on.
And the Goblin Mortar does not stun Physical, who charges up a Chain Lightning. He's trying to bait out that counterspell if he can. The Grenade, though, is resisted by Fizz, who just goes for the Lesser Healing Wave instead. And the Chain Lightning coming out from Fizz. I don't know if you saw, his first Earthshock did like 33% of Xaryu's health. And the Chain Lightning followed up with an additional third as he just goes for the Healing Wave once again with the Grounding Totem. He's going to eat the Poly here. No Skull of Impending Doom, so he's not going to break out of this one. but I'm not quite sure he needs to just yet, as Xaryu will go for the reset. Get a quick inspect on Fizz's gear, see if he's got the Skull of Impending Doom equipped. He does not. So he's not going to have a break out of that polymorph just yet. Improved counterspell now coming out from Xaryu. Here comes the damage. Here comes the Frostbolt and the Fire Blast. But Fizz just tanks it. He's an elemental shaman. He's not an enhanced shaman. He can deal with all of this right now. Charging up the Lightning Bolt. Xaryu forced to blink away. Now Fizz just running towards his opponent. No, he goes for the reset. Does he get a tick off? It didn't look like he did. He drops the grounding totem. There's the rank 1 Frostbolt to take down the totem. But look at Zaryu's mana. It's dropping slowly but surely. The nade, it looks like it lands, but it's resisted as Xaryu blinks away. Gets another big Frostbolt onto physical. Xaryu, though, he's got to be careful of the mana game here. As Fizz drops the grounding totem, gets the first 8 ticks back off. That's 3 ticks for Fizz. He's recovering tremendously. Pops the Earth Shock, the polymorph. He's going to Dark Rune it. He does not. So Fizz forced to endure the reset. Now it looks like Xaryu might be able to recover a bit here and swing this duel back in his favor.
Yeah, this is a completely different style to what we've seen Xaryu enjoy playing. This Ziqo was doing in earlier duels where he's going for these resets, playing a much more slow-paced duel. It's very reliant on how long those sheeps do last for. Fortunately, he had decent RNG on that one. It didn't break too early there. Physical has been playing it very conservatively himself. He's still about 60% mana. He's playing this one well. And obviously the threat from the Shaman is still very much there if he can just get one good setup with his damage. But in the meantime, lots of damage coming in onto Fizz. Uses his Nature's Swiftness after the counter spell expires. Xaryu probably doesn't have enough mana to win this one right now, but he is throwing the kitchen sink at Fizz. All the pets come out the zoo. The damage from those, the pushback on the heals as well, and Fizz really is having to burn through his mana to the point that Xaryu could just get the game here. He gets the Frostbite proc, the first aid comes through. It's not going to be enough. The counter spell secures it, and Xaryu very clean here. Didn't have to use any of his ice blocks. Gets a quick win off the Shaman yet again. Let's see if he can take the 2-0 once again and kind of apply pressure to other mages. He's super closely tied with Ziqo right now, both of them sitting for that top spot here on the mages. A full sheep connects as Xaryu once again looks for that clean opener for the Shaman.
He's gonna get it here as he gets a couple of ticks off. No, he interrupts his second tick, but it's not gonna matter too much. He has the full mana that he needs. HP not as big of a factor in this duel as mana is, as he launches the big frost bolts back to back. Fizz pops his AGM preemptively, absorbing as much of the damage as he can, going for the lesser healing, trying to juke Zaryu's counterspell, drops the grounding totem but doesn't follow up. He has the Skull of Impending Doom equipped. The grenade is whiffed by Fizz as Xaryu blinks out of the way. Frostbite used, no spider belt. There it is, uses the last second by Fizz as he tries to close that gap. Grenade is on cooldown. Can he close this gap onto Xaryu? He goes for the lesser healing. There's the improved counterspell. Follow up in the damage from Xaryu. Big frostball into the frostbite, into the Code of Cold. Fizz could go down here if he's not careful. Arcane explosions as well. Fizz taking so much damage, and Xaryu capitalizing on that counterspell, following up with the damage needed to take down the Elemental Shaman.
That SL Warlock is going to be a tough cookie to crack here for the Warrior.
Here we go as Biotox charges in immediately with the Horned Viking Helm as well as the Rocket Boots. He goes for the Void Walker and he goes for the big damage. Is the sack gonna go off? Not sure yet. Not enough rage there for Biotox, and the sack does go off by Snutz at the last second. So Snutz has the Absorb Shield, but he doesn't have that extra 30% damage mitigation. So Biotox potentially, if he uses a Rage Pot, he might have already used it at the start of the duel, into the Death Coil, intercepts back in, but auto-attacking into that shield generates no rage for him. He finally breaks through, but it's at the last second, and he's greeted with an AGM. No matter how much damage Biotox gets out, it's just not enough. I like the play from Biotox, but I still have not seen a warrior. He actually pops the Recklessness here, so he saved it in the first one. Did not use the Recklessness in the first one, so it looks like Snutz might be in a little bit of trouble. Forced to sack. He uses the Feldom, however, did not use it in the first duel. The Fear is coming out. You can't fear into a Recklessness to fear immunity, as well as a Berserker Rage. He has it. He uses it. Intercepts back in. Snutz is vulnerable here. Biotox, can he generate the rage needed to end this as Snutz pops the Whipperoo Tuber, but so does Biotox. And there's the rage coming out from the pod. Does he break this absorb shield? He interrupts the fear with the War Stop. No, it breaks instantaneously. Drain life coming out. The pummel, though, coming out from Biotox. This is do or die for this warrior. Can he end this SL lock? And he does not. So close, but so far at the same time. 1 win behind Gordon Ramsay, 4 wins behind Reverie, and 6 wins behind Soda Poppin' as Bobka opens up onto Matt right away, blinds off the bat as well into the exposed armor. So Bobka playing this very, I mean, you could say aggressively or expending a blind pretty early on as he starts pumping damage into Matt. There's the Gyro coming out from Bobka, the extra bleed damage as well. The net comes down, and Bobka does not have that improved sprint, but he vanishes, and he looks to open up once again with the cheap shot onto Matt. Matt, not a Feral Druid, can't take quite as effectively, and he gets kidneyed out of form. Big kidney there by Bobka, predicting the jump out of form. He's ready to go in this duel as we look for the opener. There it is, the ranged Entangling Roots opener by Matt. He gets it off. There's the Spider Belt coming out from Bobka into the Rocket Boots to close the gap. There's the cloaking device, though. Again, we've seen this time and time again from Druid versus Rogue. Bobka standing still to reset. I was wondering if he disconnected there. No, he goes for the reset into the grenade. He predicts Matt's location, gets him out with the grenade. And now the leveling field is somewhat evened out as the exposed armor comes out onto Matt. Bobka ticking down from these dots. They are about to drop off, however, so he can recover here. He gets the gouge onto Matt out of form, into the kidney once again. Bobka could end this right here, right now. The Whipperoo comes out from Matt. Does he hop into bear form in time? He does. And he's able to recover ever so slightly as Bobka is in hot pursuit, gets the gouge off once again. Into the rupture, the guaranteed damage, reliable damage, and Bobka, he took so much damage there, but he got the kidney again out of form into the abyss. It's not fast enough as Matt takes down Bobka. 1-on-1 split between these two competitors.
This guy puts so much preparation. We talked about how much we love it when the competitors have gear sets for each player. They have preparation for each, and this is a good opener. Cdew already gaining ground on Ziqo. This is looking fantastic for him. He's able to get the nade through on the counterspell as well. So this is about as good a start as Cdew can get. But I think the nade actually might have resisted there. So it's a lot of damage coming in from Ziqo. He's trying to spam heal himself in melee range. Looks like he will just about survive it. Cdew's running a very high mana set. You can see a 6,000 mana right now, so he's looking for the long duel here, but Ziqo is just unrelenting with his pressure.
Definitely big pressure coming up from Ziqo in what is a little bit of a grudge match as Ziqo eliminated Cdew's longtime teammate Sam I Am from the CDL. So while these competitors both respect each other tremendously, there certainly is a lot more at stake than just the victory itself. Sam I Am is watching from home, you can guarantee that, cheering on his friend and longtime teammate as Cdew breaks out of the polymorph early into the frost shock. He's closing it out to Ziqo, blinks away. The Goblin Mortal is dodged by Ziqo, who pops his first ice block into the Nova. Uses a Gnomish cloaking device as well, so no shocks coming out from Ziqo just yet. From Cdew, I should say, as the grounding totem is taken out. Polymorph, no, he goes for the grenade instead, and it lands. Ziqo going for the rank 1 Frostbolt to take down the grounding totem. He's trying to get a polymorph off. Does he get it? No, the Skull of Impending Doom by Cdew, who's just auto-attacking Ziqo down. He's forced to burn his Cold Snap and his second block. And with the hand of Ragnaros, the fire and fury, Cdew melts away this Frost Mage.
That is an absolutely huge win.
The odd and his Sacred Protector, the extra stamina coming out here in the clutch for Cdew as he looks to play the long game, looks to wear Ziqo out. He's gotten a taste of Zico's burst. He knows what to expect here. The Earth Shock interrupts the polymorph. No, it is slightly juked. So Cdew now, the Frost Nova though, big resist from Cdew, and the Coda Cold as well. Zico's in huge trouble. Here's the Hand of Rag comes in, chunks Ziqo down, 43% HP. Another hit like that and Ziqo just falls. Big resist there coming out from Cdew, who I believe has the Frost Resistance Totem down as well. So working around this Frost damage We'll take a quick look at his set here if we can. He has some frost resistance on as well. Pops the healing stream, pops the grounding totem, looks for the safe healing wave cast. He gets it. Big advantage here from Cdew as he reflects the rank 1. No, that's a max rank Frostbolt. Yep. Big damage reflected onto Ziqo from Cdew, who lands the grenade. Ziqo has to go for the counter spell, and it gets Dark Runed by Cdew, who explodes onto Ziqo into the Frost Shock as well. But the polymorph does come out from Ziqo. Are you kidding me? He Dark Runed that polymorph on the batch. Godlike play from Cdew there, who's able to run back into range right now. He's gonna go. He purges off the mana shield. He's just trying to gain back in range. The Frostbolt just slowing him down. But he has his eye on the prize. He's got that Hand of Rag. He's looking for that Storm Strike crit. There's the Frost Shock. Does he get the Wind Fury? No, just barely out of range in the Frost Nova right now. He's not going to be able to break out of it just yet. Approved counterspell, though, coming out from Ziqo. Cedew's got to be careful here. He gets a couple of bandage ticks off, and he's forced to eat this polymorph. I still can't get over the Dark Rune play, Healing Stud.
It was incredible, and because of that, he Doom. I believe that's a 5-minute cooldown. That should be back available for Cdew to try break out of future polymorphs as well from the first duel. Cdew's actually going to mount up here potentially. Yep, there's the mount up to try catch Ziqo. He's putting him under pressure. Polymorph is on DR. Ziqo is low on mana, and Ziqo is also kind of close to Cdew here. The Frost Nova, though, doesn't resist on this occasion. Cdew not having the good fortune there, so he uses the grounding totem, the fire reflector, reflects the fire blast. Really nice play, dropping Ziqo low once again. 20% health left on this mage. He does have the ice barrier that can be purged off. Evocation now, the last cooldown for Ziqo, but he needs to get some health back, or the shocks are just going to kill him from range. And look at Cdew's mana. He's doing so well in this fight. Over 4,000 mana remaining. The sheep breaks early. This is the worst case scenario on the first aid for Ziqo. Once again, though, we are going to see that Frost Nova barely keeping Cdew away from Ziqo, but his health's still low, and he's certainly not out just yet.
You see Ziqo popping the toe up into the big damage, but he's nading. He almost takes out Cdew right there, and he does! The Coda Cold! The toe up damage coming out from Ziqo. The big Frostbolt, the big Coda Cold, the big Fire Blast, and he takes Cdew down in what was the biggest swing of momentum I have ever seen in classic dueling. How did that happen so fast? Bruce Wayne the Hunter versus Toes the Shadow Priest. Always a pleasure to see Bruce back on the battlefield as he pops. The Shadow Reflector seemed to be right away into the Viper Sting and the Gnomish Cloaking device as well. So Bruce doing his best to gain max distance possible, but Toes is able to mount back up. Not quickly enough, however, as Bruce maintains the distance. How long does he maintain it for as the grenade lands onto Toes, but the freezing trap slows him down, keeps Bruce at bay, but the blackout proc to get Toes back into range. Look at his mana, though. It's completely obliterated. He does get the Psychic Scream off, however, into the big Mind Blast. Bruce Wayne just bleeding down to these dots. He is able to recover, though. The Shadower Pain drops off. He gets the first aid bandage off, and Toes has almost no mana here. Viper Sting as well. Toes is completely at this point. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne might be able to kite this effectively. We can keep Toes in the freezing trap, forcing him to kite around. There's the Dark Rune coming out from Toes, but once again, he's out of mana. That Viper Sting, that pet, that harass, but the Shadower Pain so strong. Bruce Wayne tries to stop damage, but
doesn't get the trap.
He doesn't get it in time. The Shadower Pain just too strong and takes him down. Toes reciprocating, emulating, and ready to drop the same mortar onto Bruce with that Talisman of Ephemeral Power. The concussive shot stun, though, for Bruce. Coming in the clutch at the start of the duel. He's got the 40-yard range. He's got the freezing trap, and he gets the entrapment. I was waiting for it. I was thinking, is it going to come? Is it going to come? And he gets it. RNG gods are with Bruce Wayne right here and right now. All of Gotham City is with Bruce Wayne. Chat, are you guys with Bruce Wayne as he's taking down Toes here, who is completely The Goblin Mortar lands. The pack goes down. Rip Paxton. That's a big bane to Bruce. He's going to try to keep his distance. Viper Sting, bleeding Toes down. The multi-shot as well. That's big damage coming from that 8-piece set. He almost drops Toes right then and there, who pops the Power Word Shield just in time. But look at the respect given by Bruce. He's not going to overextend. He knows Toes could turn this around at any moment as he interrupts the bandage ticks. Does the grenade land? It looks like it's resisted by Bruce, who aspects of the cheetah back in, gets the concussive shot off. Again, Toes is completely There's the grenade. There's the auto shot. There's the multi-shot. There's the auto shot. Once again, the power word shield by Toes. He's trying to land a Psychic Scream. It's not going to matter. It doesn't get in range in time. The Goblin Mortar takes down Toes. So we'll look to see Zetox go all in on this second duel. Meanwhile, Ziqo, he has his Mark of Resolution to prevent that rage gen as the charge comes in. Ziqo, does he kick the polymorph? He does not. I'm sorry, Zetox does not. Toa popped by Ziqo. He's ready for the big damage. There's the Frostbolt. As Zetox, it looks like he pops his Ice Reflector. Doesn't last quite as long as it needs it to, however. He goes for the First Aid Bandage. Is he going to go... He goes for the Intercept instead into the Rocket Helm. It's not going to matter, though. It's blocked off immediately by Ziqo. There's the free action potion from Zetox. He gets polymorph, though.
No.
And now Zetox can just wait the duration of this free action potion. He has to do nothing. He can reapply the sheep. And he's just chilling right now.
Yeah. There's really not much more to be said about this one. Guy. Potion rocket boots. All in Ziqo. You could tell that was strategy. He used the helm to force the ice block, went for it, but there was just too much distance. Ziqo was too quick on the poly, and now I think we're going to see the brutal end of this warrior. He's just not going to have any fun reaching this mage for the rest of the duel.
The only hope Zetox has here is if Ziqo overextends a little bit. He's going to blink away from that grenade. Maybe Zetox can get an intercept here and get some kind of big damage. A sword spec proc, maybe. No, it's not going to be enough for Zetox, and he's just going to get... Ooh, the recklessness coming at the last second. I've got a
couple of times in this duel where Zetox maybe used stuff a little bit too late, I think it's fair to say, to no value. And then the second one as well, like, his strategy was good. I liked it. Like, go for the Viking Helm when Zico's distance to try bait out the ice block and then go for a big all-in play with your freedom action potion. But at the end of the day, Ziqo was just too aware. He played it really well. And to Zico's credit, you know, he had a tough duel earlier on. He lost 2-0 to the Shaman, but he bounces back immediately. Now we're on to the next duel. We're immediately getting into it between the little Payo, of course, the other Goblin, going up against Bruce Wayne. And this is a rough start also for Payo, having to expend the blind, but he's not going to get the reset. The blind actually breaks to the pets. That is a huge, unfortunate incident there for Payo, but he's still looking to push through with this kidney shot.
The counterattack as well, keeping him at bay for just a couple seconds longer, but the big eviscerate. Whipperoo Tuber, though, popped by Bruce Wayne, and he catches Payo off guard. Now Payo completely exposed. No ruptures, no Gyrodes ticking onto Bruce, who gets a couple of first aid ticks. The grenade is resisted, but just a multi-shot, auto-shot damage. Payo, though, gouging Paxton the pet in hopes to get back into range in time. He does not. The great presence of mind to gouge the pet and run back into range. Needless to say, Payo goes down there. Love watching Bruce play, love watching Payo play. Both good friends, both great people and great competitors. As we see Payo open up onto Bruce, he gets scattered almost immediately. I'm not sure if the sap resisted there. I didn't catch it healing stun. I'm not sure if you caught it, but there's the aim shot.
I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but that is definitely the worst case scenario for Payo. He's really going to struggle to catch up now.
Oh yeah, this is pretty much done. He pops the Vanish, but the Serpent Sting is on. But Payo does open back up onto Bruce. He catches him, and he catches him in the 5-point kidney. So if big damage comes out here for Payo, this could spell doom for Bruce Wayne. He pops the blind. Bandaging back up, so it looks like the Serpent Sting did not connect. Did not connect. And now Payo goes for the gouge onto Bruce Wayne. He's got the Dragonling down. The kidney shot onto Bruce. It's not a 5-point kidney. The scatter shot comes out from Bruce. Payo is trapped. And now Bruce, he's got the crippling poison on. This time, no Heart of Noxium to dispel that poison. He gets a little bit of range, but opts for the more defensive play with the first aid. Payo trying to get in. Does he go for the gouge? He does. There's the 5-point kidney. He's going to look for the damage. No, the pet is just whittling him down, though. The eviscerate, though!
Incredible. Incredible from Payo.
Cold-blooded fist at the very end, ending that duel for Payo. Poggers in the chat for Payo. He takes down Bruce Wayne. Is enhancement the play against these Warlock ceiling stat?
I mean, maybe. Cdew was also really, really close against Snutz Jules, I remember. Very, very close, and he didn't really get the RNG he was looking for. So enhancement might actually be pretty nice here. He's used Spider Belt for the root. That's immediately a great start for Cdew, but the Death Coil comes out. The Death Coil being used so early, though, maybe it is to the advantage of Cdew. If he can just survive here, he needs to get some heals off. He uses the Shadow Reflect, potentially looking to reflect a counter spell or something like that. But the nade comes through, and Nazgul is just destroying Cdew. He hasn't had an opportunity to do damage yet in this game. He's low on health. He's going to end up losing before he even gets an attack off. Absolutely unbelievable. Maybe it's not the move after all to get that distance on the Warlock and hopefully get some damage going in the early stages.
Warlock pre-pops the Talisman of Ephemeral Power. There's the Frost Shock, though. This time, Cdew has the range. Does he get the Wind Fury crit he's looking for? Storm Strike comes out. Hand of Ragnaros proc comes out. Does the big damage come out? The fear, is it interrupted? Doesn't go off. Cdew, though, he gets hit by the grenade. He's got to be careful here. He can get chunked right here and right now. He starts casting the heals, but there's the Gnomish cloaking device. It breaks by the Battle Chicken, though. The Battle Chicken doing work for Cdew. It's laying the big old egg on Nazgul's head. Let's see if that egg cracks as Cdew gets back into range. He's almost there. Does he get the Storm Strike? He's so close with a Death Coil at the last second. He pops the Whipperoo Tuber, however, he's still alive in this one. Gets the Lesser Healing Wave as well. Meanwhile, Nazgul completely out of mana, forced to life tap. Cdew lands the grenade, goes for the Blood Fury, goes for the big Storm Strike, but it doesn't crit.
No. That was such a good duel from Cdew. He played that so well. He killed off the pet.
A bit of time, depending on who goes, up against the other. But Gordon Ramsay, again, he is Feral spec, so this could turn out pretty differently, healing status. Gordon Ramsay opens up. Immediate dots, immediate fairy fire. He's all over Toes. The blackout proc stun, though, comes into the Mind Blast, and you can see just how strong this Shadow Priest is. Chunking Gordon Ramsay down. The Mind Flay as well. The War Stomp comes out, but it doesn't matter. Gordon Ramsay's silence. Mind Blast comes out. This might just end him. He gets the bash off, but there's the Mind Flay. Pops the NS as Gordon Ramsay. Tries to get the distance. Grenade is whiffed by Toes. Mana Burn comes out. Gordon Ramsay's got to be careful. He'd be completely at this point. He's in bear form, looking to charge back in onto Toes, but he hasn't done enough damage, and he won't do enough damage as the Shadow Priest bleeds him down. Sorry, I was just messing around with the stream deck. But here we go, Gordon Ramsay opening back up onto Toes. Psychic Scream lands onto Gordon Ramsay into the Shadow Word Pain. Mind Blast coming out, though, from Toes. It lands, big damage. He gets the bleeds up, but there's the Mind Flay. So difficult to deal with the Shadow Priest damage. Almost nothing you can do as a Feral Druid. He's silenced again, pops the Whipperoo, doing what he can to get whatever damage he can, but there's the Gnomish Death Ray, and he's gonna kill himself! No. At this point, I don't know what to do with Gordon Ramsay. I'm so worried about him. He's killed himself so many times in game. Oh,
God, dude. At least Toes is rezzing him like a true sport. I mean, yeah, so I was watching Xaryu's stream because he actually split one-on-one with Warrior in this round. And he was saying that literally every single warrior was denying him practice with the pots since the change. So he hadn't had any practice in the matchup, but he feels like he's a lot more confident in it now. Let's see if that does play out. He's starting it very conservatively, as you said, Tips. He's going for a max distance strategy. It doesn't look like anything's really being committed on either side, but Xaryu, with that distance to start the duel, is the perfect place that the Mage wants to be. We see the intercept come through, but that's going to be answered with the blink, and this is the freedom action potion from Biotox. This is the recklessness. He's going for a chunk of damage here on Xaryu. He might be forced into the ice block early.
There's the ice block. It goes off as he waits off the duration of that recklessness. Surprised Xaryu didn't block off the Horned Viking helmet. It's a 3-second stun onto the caster himself, but nevertheless, he times the ice block perfectly. Recklessness is gone, and that's the majority of Biotox's damage there. Free action potion's gone as well, and Xaryu can just walk this one home. Intercept by Biotox with the blink away. Grenade cooldown. Is it back up? Not yet, but the nice Frost Reflect, although it's resisted by Xaryu. Great play nonetheless by Biotox. The Goblin Mortar is resisted. You hate to see it. You hate to see warriors go down like this, but sometimes it happens. Two bandage ticks off, however. Zaryu's low on mana. He's chucking those rank 1 Frostbolts, and the clear casting proc into the Fire Blast ends the duel. A multi-time rank 1 warrior. This guy is no joke at all. As the charge comes in onto Xaryu. Immediate Frost Nova. There's the Polymorph. Biotox not able to cast a grenade there, but maybe it was to his benefit. His grenade is not going to be on cooldown just yet. Might help him as he intercepts in. Intimidating Shadows with a Forsaken. There's the net, though, coming out from Biotox. He doesn't have the Recklessness, but he has a bit of rage to expend here. Gets the Whirlwind off, chunking down the Ice Barrier. And now Zaryu's slowed up in this hamstring. I believe Biotox still has the grenade, and he lands it right there. But now Xaryu using his second Ice Block. Biotox goes for the bandage. He gets it, as well as the hamstring. Xaryu's still in range. He could get crit massively here if he's not careful, as Biotox pops his Rocket Boots. But the Frostbite proc. Bad RNG in favor of Xaryu there against Biotox. He's not able to get in range, and he goes down to the Mage. He needs every win he can get from now until the end of the day to have a hope at qualifying. Truth be told, his chances might already be over as Bobka opens up onto Cawthon Luck, who may just be playing for pride here, but pride is the most important prize of all as Bobka gets the blind off into the expose armor. Cawthon looking to finish off strong. Whatever the case, even if he doesn't qualify, he has an opportunity to make a name for himself in the community, coming from Heroes of the Storm, never competing before in World of Warcraft, and managing to at least get to the regular season. We'll see if he's able to take this duel off of Bobka. He pops the Whipperoo Tuber. Bobka's all over him, however, in the flare, just tanking the damage, drops the grenade. You hear the sound of the parries, you hear the dodges, that deterrence coming into effect, but the kidney shot into the eviscerate by Bobka. Scatter trap, however, it does land. He gets the bandages off this Cawthon Luck. If he gets some distance here, no Heart of Noxian to purge the poison. He drops the flare, opens up with a Serpent Sting into an auto shot. Concussive shot lands, no proc though for Cawthon, but he might actually take this one. He's got to be careful. If the gouge lands, it's going to be tough for him. The gouge is resisted by Cawthon, but the kidney lands instead, as does the eviscerate, and Bobka takes down the hunter.
To catch Bobka, and that's going to be a closely fought competition.
My heart tells me the Rogues are going to come back to the mirror matches, and I think that's going to be super exciting on Monday. But right now, we still have the duels today as Bobka opens up onto Cawthon, and just in the duration of a single kidney shot, chunks him 60%. The power of that newly acquired Viscag. He's premiering it today at the CDL. Did not have it last week. And you can see just how strong it is. Cawthon just about to drop as Bobka opens up. Cawthon pops the Whipperoo Tuber. But Bobka with that Ice Reflector. Cawthon careful to drop the Freezing Trap. And the Hunter. Does the Hunter become the hunted? It looks like he just might. One more arrow by Bobka. No, it's the Battle Chicken that takes Cawthon Luck down. You know, stay happy for the rest of the day. I know he's probably proud of his performance right now. Let's see if he can finish this off on a high note against this SL Warlock. He has the Druid duel as well as he pops the Shadow Reflector, the Earthbind Totem, trying to slow down the pet possibly as Snutz micros it towards the totem. Fizz, though, doing a pretty decent amount of damage onto Snutz. The Death Coil lands, but he can heal through this. He's got to be careful of the Spell Lock, though that Fell Hunter is in melee range. Fizz looking to run down this SL Lock if he can. Snutz getting ready to charge up the Fear. Fizz wants to keep him honest with that Earth Shock and interrupt if he can. There's the Frost Shock. If Snutz wants to make a Fear play, he knows now's the opportune time to do so. Grounding Totems drop. Fizz gets into melee range. He has Snutz where he wants him, but the grenade landing onto Fizz and taking him down. As he charges up the Ghost Wolf, once again ready to put the aggro onto Snutz. Goes for the Earth Shock right away into the Earthbind Totem. This time, he gets him where he wants him. The Fear, however, does land from Snutz. And now Fizz, kited out to no man's land. He's got dots ticking on him. Immolate, Curse of Agony, Corruption. The Wombo combo from these disgusting SL Warlocks. as he's running back into range. It looks like this might be a repeat of the first duel. By the time he gets into range, it might be too little too late, as he drops the Tremor Totem, preventing the fear. Snutz has to be careful if he casts this, but just look at the Death Coil. Into the Spell Lock, into the Searing Pain, into the 2-0 by Snutz, who, if I'm not mistaken, healing stat has not dropped a single duel all day. This is always a close duel healing stat. This could go either way, and honestly, with this level of competition, I can't make up my mind. It could go to Bruce or it could go to Zetox.
Yeah, and both of them have had a really good day. So Zetox, obviously, he's looking to set a tough goal for Sony tomorrow, who was sitting at the top of the Warrior going into this weekend. And if he can get 1 or potentially 2 wins here, that would be incredible. But certainly, Bruce Wayne, I think he's going to feel like if he plays this perfectly, if he's able to sit at max range, use the dual radius to its perfection, and avoid intercepts from Zetox, he has a very good shot at 2-0ing this. And because people like Bean and Stream Sniper sitting in tomorrow's bracket, he's going to be looking for that. He knows that he needs to find wins wherever he can in order to keep the qualification in what has been a very tough Hunter bracket in his hands. So we'll have to see how this one does play out. Obviously for Zetox, it's just about getting range. He's going to use his helmet immediately to put the interrupt or the crowd control effect over onto Bruce Wayne and set up big damage with his recklessness.
There's the slam into the Mortal Strike, chunking Bruce Wayne down with that recklessness, but Bruce drops the trap. The Barop Peasant absorbs it, however, so Bruce is in huge trouble as Zetox pops the rocket boots. Those are goblin rocket boots, and he just obliterates Bruce Wayne. Looking like Bane coming out of the Dark Knight Rises, just breaking Bruce Wayne's back there, which I think is a great play. I think we've seen a lot of Warriors use it as a recovery item to get back into range, which it certainly can be used for. But it has so much value as a setup. You can use it into a Gnomish Death Ray. You can use it into a pre-popped Recklessness, Rage Pot, Slam like Zetox has been using. It's a versatile item, and sometimes it feels like it's not maximized. At least its potential isn't maximized. But that being said, Zetox uses it however he can. And without it this turn, we'll see if he's able to close the gap onto Bruce Wayne. He's using that Blaster Shot launcher against this Hunter. Gun versus bow. Look, Dalar versus the gunpowder of the Blaster Shot launcher, as Zetox gets the intimidating shout off.
What? Zetox! He definitely stamped his authority on the end of this tournament. His 2 were absolutely nuts. Incredible stuff coming in. What was that hit? The guy was at 35% health. He just one-shots him.
But ladies and gentlemen, one of the most anticipated matchups of the entirety of the CDL, the Battle of the Goblins, Ziqo versus Payo. Who is the bigger goblin? We will find out right now as Payo opens up onto Ziqo, whose net backfires. He's stuck in range, and Payo just... the Viscag on top of it, that proc. He gouges the blind, but the Frostbite proc. He pops the Gnomish Cloaking Device, though. Is he gonna get in range? The sprint, the Goblin Mortar to finish it off in stealth. Payo takes down Ziqo with that nasty, nasty Viscag damage. He's not out of the woods just yet. Sagu and Venruki are on his tail. If he ends his day at 17 wins, or 18 wins, I should say, there's certainly a chance they could come back as the cold-blooded Vis just melts Ziqo. This damage coming out from Payo is absolutely insane, and he's in pursuit. As you said, healing stat, he still has his blind, he still has his prep, I believe. The Goblin Mortar comes out. Payo's about to get in range. There's the blind, there's the block. Can Payo recover? No, he doesn't. So the resisted gouge at the very end prevents Payo from taking that 2-0, and that keeps Ziqo ahead of the competition. Healing stat. Yes.
Hey, on that last duel there, Ziqo had AGM and Medicine Pouch equipped at the same time, violated a rule, so we're disqualifying him for that particular duel.
Was that the first duel or the second duel?
The second one. The second one.
Well, F in the chat, I guess.
Yeah, it specifically says whether you use it or not. It says if you've got them equipped, it's against the rules. And it lists those chances.
right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
There we go.
Archivist. And here we go. Payo took that 2-0 then. We'll talk about the results of that disqualification in just a second as Cdew opens up onto Gordon Ramsay. Big damage coming out from Gordon. Cdew not able to take this feral DPS right now. He's got to heal back up if he can. This is a mana game between these two. And they both have to be very careful. The beautiful thing about this duel, however, is both of them want to be in melee range. Both of them just want to slug it out with each other as Gordon Ramsay feral charges onto Cdew, who has to be careful here. The extra armor on this Druid is going to be incredibly difficult to penetrate as Gordon Ramsay follows up the charge with the bash. Cdew forced to whip a root tuber, gets war stomped by Gordon Ramsay, but he gets the frost shock off. Does he swap to the hand of Rag? He does. The storm strike, no wind fury just yet. Auto attack once again into the earth shock, and the auto attack from Cdew finishes off Gordon Ramsay there. Hand of Rag coming in the clutch. Him at nearly double his wins in his showing last weekend as Gordon Ramsay opens up with a pounce onto Cdew into the Fairy Fire. Is it going to be a slugfest once again? It looks like it is, as Cdew keeps his shield on to tank as much of this kitty DPS as possible. Looking to switch over to the Hand of Rag as soon as he gets an opportunity to. He's going for the lesser healing wave. He gets it. Meanwhile, Gordon is exposed here. He's got to be really careful. He's taking so much damage as Cdew swaps over to the Hand of Rag into the Storm Strike. He's looking for a big Wind Fury. The Earth Shock takes Gordon Ramsay down. And, you know, he wasn't prepared for the tournament. He hadn't spent, you know, the past month between the qualifiers farming, and he gave a hell of a performance regardless. He has been eliminated from the championships, but can we get some hearts in the chat for Gordon Ramsay, who stepped up, you know, put his heart on the line for us, and, you know, delivered some great entertainment for us. Those gnomish death ray self-deaths will never be forgotten. But
the
with
sacrifice he made.
Exactly. The sacrifice he made will never be forgotten. As we do move into this next duel. Thank you once again, Gordon Ramsay. Biotox versus Cawthon Luck. Biotox pops the recklessness. He's looking to get in rage here. I'm sorry, that wasn't a recklessness, but he's looking to get in range. He fires off the grenade. It's either resisted or whiffed. He's looking for the intercept. Does he get it? He does. And does he have enough rage to unload? No, the improved concussive shot proc into the scatter shot. Now with no intercept, Biotox is in huge trouble. Does he have Goblin Rocket Boots? He does not. He's forced to chase down this hunter and run directly into his death. As Cawthon Luck picks up a win in his penultimate duel of the day.
We've got a lot of people. Tomorrow, you know, you've got the likes of people like Vec and Valkor and the Rogues that will be playing, and Cawthon Luck's been another one of those guys that he's made it through to the regular season. He's putting on a good show for us here, and let's see if he can close it out with a 2-0 against Biotox.
He has the advantage here. He has the scatter. He has the trap. There's that horned Viking helmet used as a closer there by Biotox, who now pops his recklessness, charges up the slam, taking a play out of Ztox's playbook into the Mortal Strike, 60% HP right then and there. He's going to try to intercept back in. It's not resisted, and that could just spell the end for Cawthon Luck, who gets the scatter trap off. But with the deep wounds ticking onto Cawthon, he does go down to continue to grow here on out, and that's Bobka, as he goes head-to-head with Xaryu in this Rogue Mage matchup. Frostbite, though, from the ice armor into the grenade. It's not resisted. Bobka's in big trouble here. The Frost Bolt into the second Frostbite. He's forced to vanish early, but Xaryu's so quick with those blizzards. He's been so quick throughout the entirety of this tournament. It's like an instant reflex with him. And Bobka, he does get the blind off, but it's immediately ice blocked, and the gouge is blocked as well, so Bobka forced to prep blind almost instantaneously. He has no bandage here. He's in big trouble here, Healing Stat.
Yeah, he certainly is. It's not looking great. The full sap connects. This is going to be a dangerous situation as Bobka. He can just sit. He can do whatever he wants in this situation. He can go for the play. He's going for the cheap shot right now, just using it to rebuild those combo points. The classic Bobka. He can restart. He goes for the death ray actually out of it. Very nicely played off that snap. Almost one-shotting Xaryu. All but one-shotting him, as he will inevitably surely lose this. Xaryu would have to literally pull off a miracle to turn this into a win, and he's trying his best. The Thorium nade into the sheep for the reset with the first aid. No bleeds on Xaryu. He's actually recovering from this situation. The man, the myth, the legend, as Xaryu somehow has survived that setup, Tips.
That Cold Blood Abyss and the death rate did 83% of Xaryu's HP as that Frostbolt is resisted, but Xaryu was able to recover, and there's the reflect from Bobka. Is he going to be able to get into melee range? Look at Xaryu's mana. Notice that it's almost completely depleted as Bobka likely goes for the gouge. No, Xaryu doesn't blink away. The confidence on this man. Understanding the control he has in this matchup, not panic blinking away, instead opting for the Frost Nova, keeping Bobka controlled and saving that blink for when he desperately needs it. As Bobka lands the Goblin Mortar, no, he's able to re-stealth in time. So he's able to drop combat just long enough to re-stealth. He gets the cheap shot, but the second Frostbite from the Ice Armor. Bobka is seething right now. No Skull of Impending Doom to break out of this sheep, and there's the evocation from Xaryu. So all cooldowns expended by both parties for this duel. But it's Xaryu that could potentially come out on top here. He's got 70% of his mana. He's got a second bandage, and he's in a really good position to retaliate here. Healing stat.
Yeah, Xaryu maybe made a small mistake there, letting Bobka get the stealth, but for that mistake, you've got to say that he played the duel fantastically. He held the evocation super patiently. He could have used it. He had 70 mana, and he didn't even use it for the tick. He knew that the win condition was surviving until the stage. He's managed to do it, and that is a huge turnaround. Bobka?
At least in sports. I don't know about Classic WoW. We'll see if they do.
Well, I think that was a bit of a miracle, that Frostbite proc on Xaryu. Literally this lifesaver for him as we see this get underway.
Here we go. Bobka this time. Once again, the Frostbite. Again, the Frostbite from the Ice Armor. Are you kidding me? Bobka lumbering towards this Frost Mage. He gets the net off, however, and he's able to vanish out of that net. He unloads onto Xaryu, who's forced to blink away. Goes for the polymorph. Can we see a Skull of Impending Doom? Can we see something? The second blind comes out from Bobka, who's netted up, and now he's in trouble. Healing stat.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. He's caught up in a root. He's really struggling here. He has Cold Blood active. If he can just reach Xaryu, he is going to do a massive eviscerate. Frostbite once again. He's never going to reach this mage, and Xaryu will take that 2-0, putting him on an incredibly impressive
30% damage reduction from Soul Link, the Fire Shield, Ephemeral Power being popped, that Talisman. At the start of the duel, Nazgul's looking to go hard. We'll see if Toes goes for the aggressive play or the more defensive mana burn play. We've seen some Shadow Priests have success with mana burn against Warlocks, but there's the spell lock coming out from Nazgul into the grenade. So he's able to secure his distance. Toes, on the other hand, silences up Nazgul, gets a Mind Flay out, but it's not quite as much damage as he had hoped for, as the fear does go off. Nazgul now being feared totally outside the duel zone. He's got to run back into range as that Battle Chicken is just harassing him down. Worried we'll get a flea here in any moment, but it looks like we do not, as what appeared to be a Nightfall proc was resisted by Toes. Not sure if that was a Nightfall proc or the Death Coil. Regardless, advantage to Toes there as Nazgul is whittling down. Could Toes be the one to do it to Nazgul today, who's completely out of mana, gets caught in the Psychic Scream. He's an Orc Warlock, no will forsaken to bail him out. Toes getting harassed down by this Fell Hunter that dispels just the harassment. But Nazgul popping the life tap to regenerate. Toes, I'm not sure what that was. That a Dark Rune that just eviscerated his HP? It very well may have been into the spell lock. That Dark Rune play.
I think it must have been a Dark Rune, right? He knew he'd lost if he did. That's really difficult to get too, right? It's like a 2% drop chance. So either he got very lucky or he grind thing. And good on him, because LBR is still my favorite dungeon to run.
Oh, Overlord Wormthlock is garbage. I hate that dungeon so much. I may have one of those in my bank as well. May have gotten it on the first try over a Shaman, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about this duel. Nazgul versus Toes. Nazgul going for the 28-0 dream, I believe, in the CDL, something along those lines. And it looks like he's just going to get it with the Death Coil onto Toes. Nazgul is undefeated on the day.
Performers, and they really do look like people that could take the entire CDL, so definitely people we want to be watching for sure.
See if SL remains unbanned heading into the championships. That's unlikely. Unlikely it'll be unbanned. It'll probably be banned, but we'll see how things go. We'll see how the discussions and what happens between the competitors and the administrators. In the meantime, we've got Fizz chasing down Matt in this epic battle of nature. Shaman versus Druid. Basically, who loves the Earth Mother more? They're competing for mommy's love here. We'll see who it is, Fizz or Matt, as Fizz gets netted up by the Druid. Pops the first aid. The full tick does not go off. He's got dots ticking on him. He is able to drop the Stone Cloth, though, temporarily consuming the time of these Birop peasants. As Fizz lumbers back into range of Matt. Remember, he's not like Cdew. He's not an enhancement shaman, and Matt is not a feral druid like Gordon Ramsay, so this duel could go very differently. We've seen the distance game being played a lot more effectively in this duel, as neither party really wants to be super tied up into melee range. Maybe Fizz does, but he's got to be careful as well. As he heals back up, goes for the Frost Shock, and is in pursuit of this lumbering druid.
Yeah, this is getting really, really close between Fizz and Matt. Both of them dropping very low. That's a huge spike of damage, but the shot connects. That's the NS. Both players dropping very low. It is Matt, though, who ends up falling. Fizz able to find the damage. Both of them were
As we get ready here, the final duel of the day. Physical versus Matt. Shaman versus Druid. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Physical all over Matt right now as he drops the grenade into the Fire Nova Totem. He's looking to chase down this Druid as quickly as he can. Dots are ticking.
Yeah, he's got the Frost Shock up. This is, again, really close. Like, both these guys, they're so keen on holding onto their mana that they're actually willing to let their health drop super low, which is scary because, you know, one nade or something could easily end it. Matt's super low. Don't think he has access to the NS right now, neither does Fizz. Both of them expending it in the last duel. But it does seem like Fizz, with this melee range in the hand of the odd, it's just favoring him. These trades are working in his favor, and now he forces the NS from Matt, but Matt's almost out of mana already, Tips.
He's got to be careful how he shifts and why he shifts, not to expend too much mana during those power shifts, but Matt certainly knows what he's doing. He's a multi-time rank 1 player, very familiar with the Druid class. But Fizz, just so tanky. He's got the AGM equipped as well. He can just tank all of this damage coming out from Matt. Druid's not necessarily known for their burst, and Fizz is able to counteract this so well. He can just chunk all of this down as he nades into the Chain Lightning. He gets bashed up, but one Earth Shock may do it here for Physical. No, it's the Frost Shock instead. Ladies and gentlemen, Physical is your new Shaman class leader at 12 wins. Can we get some pogs in the chat for Fizz? Relative unknown coming into this tournament, has defied expectations, sitting at 12 wins now, currently at the top of the Shaman bracket, and is poised to advance to the championship finals, barring any miracle that may occur tomorrow during the Group 1 cross matches.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to see what can Zane and Titan Frost get done tomorrow. That's basically going to be the question. If Zane does manage to make it through to you know, let's say 10-11 wins mirror matches against Titan Frost, then he's also looking pretty good for qualification, since Cdew and Fizz will go head to head on Monday. But ultimately for Fizz, what a performance once again. Hats off to him. He got 4 wins on the first week, but 8 wins today. Fantastically done. And for Cdew, you know, he's been holding it down on that enhancement shaman, but Fizz and Zane, both of them have been stepping up on the elemental. And in the finals, there is a chance that the two of them could swap up their specs a little bit. We might see people mirroring each other just a little bit more.